Okay, it's been a real dry summer this year. I've got trees that are starting to brown out and stuff. So I'll show y'all a little bit about root feeding with the good old, I think it's called a Scott's root feeder. Yeah, I got these two pine trees here. I'm standing right by one. I don't know if you can see it. There's brown stuff, and they really haven't did this before. That's how severe dry of a summer it's been. Yeah, there's some of that brown stuff. Oh yeah, it's been really dry. It was so dry I had to use this thing the other day just to soften up the ground over in here and let it soak for a while. And now I've got this thing over here. This is a root feeder, and you don't get right up there at the base of the tree. That's not really where a tree feeds from. You go around the perimeter of it, and it gets into those little I don't know what you call it, feeder roots. Yep. And here's the thing. The water comes out of it like that. But you poke it in the ground here, and you turn it on, and it gets the water actually down there. Like I said, you do it around the perimeter of the tree. Yeah, it's been real dry. It barely sprinkled today, but that doesn't amount to shit. And by the way, nobody tell my mom about that Like a Good Neighbor video that I was cussing on like crazy. Okay. Alright. Let me see. She won't help me and be my assistant camera person on videos, so I've got to use my assistant right over there. Yeah, that's how I do the next shot. Yep, that's all there is to it. Yeah, these trees needed their water bad. In fact, look at this little bastard right here, this little redbud tree. I don't even know if it's going to make it back, but I'll be root probe feeding it here in a little bit. Yeah, I got both of these little pine trees. I got them back in 1988 at Ferncliff State Park. There was a picnic shelter, and they were on the side of the hill that led up to the picnic shelter. They're just like 18 inches back then in 1988. So they're like 22 years old. For years they didn't really grow much, because that elm tree right there was stealing from them, and there used to be other trees in that woods that were huge. But right over here, they've really grown since last year, and that's because this big ass tree right here, that's what's left of it, the stump, that fell May 8th of last year during that hellacious windstorm we had here. It fell and went all the way over there and cracked the rail on the deck. Yep. Yep, just watering away. Here you can listen to the water. Ah, the beautiful sound of water on the roots. This tree needs it, I tell you what. And look at this little pine or spruce or whatever it is. My mom especially wants me to get it watered, because this is one of her keepsake trees. It came in a tiny little thing in an Arbor Day packet. And her and one of her grandsons, my nephew, they kind of did it like a little grandma and grandson thing, like, this is your tree, you know, and And that thing is browning out the first time it's ever browned out like that. Yep, it's gonna get some water. And there's Autumn. There's my kitty Autumn. Kiki. Okay, and a little sideline here. I did catch that guy finally yesterday after dark and ran over there and said, "Oh man, I need my power washer." He said, "Oh, sure thing." You know, he says, "Oh, she's a dandy," and I said, "Yeah, okay." And I didn't confront him or nothing about those workers of his who were using it behind my back. I see the ground's still pretty darn hard. Oh man, I could use a camera person, assistant camera person to do this right. Anyway, you can put fertilizer in this thing right here. Oh, I wasted some. And see, you've got that. There's a rubber O-ring there. And then you put this back on it. And then you turn it back on, and that fertilizer just percolates around in there. It'll turn clear again in a bit, and that means all the fertilizer is down there underground with the roots. Really a lot more efficient than sprinkling fertilizer around up on the surface of the ground. See, this is that little dogwood that's dying. I don't know if it's going to make it or not, but I'm giving it a shot here with the Scott's Root Probe Feeder. Don't look for premiums or coupons, as the cost of the tobacco blended in Camel cigarettes prohibits the use of them. Yes, this video brought to you by Camel Studs, the man cigarette. Not one of those Pall Mall lights like Burex Keef again smokes. That's a pansy cigarette. Pall Mall Studs. Yes. Yeah, the ground is so hard, I can't get that root probe thing in the ground over here. So I'm having to use this sprinkler to pre-soak the ground. I'm gonna get my camel wet. Yeah, see that's what I had to do over there by those pine trees. I've got this sprinkler going on. I've got to get the ground softened up just so I could get this root probe thing down in the ground. Yeah, I was only getting in like a half inch. I turned it on and it spewed up mud. Got mud all over me. Man, I didn't come out here to get dirty. No. Yeah, see all that brown on that little tree? It's having a tough time. Man, we'll be getting on it in a little bit with some root probing. Damn Energizer batteries kicked out on me. Had to go get a couple cold ones from the refrigerator. Lick both ends, put them in. Now I'm good to go for a little bit. And not beers, batteries. I get by with old batteries. I get all I can get out of them. I put them in the refrigerator. I get a little more out of them. Seems like you lick both ends of it, you're good to go. Well, like I was going to say, I'm going to turn the video off and give this a half hour to get the ground soft enough so I could get the root feeder in there at least 3 inches, and then what I basically do is turn it on and use the power of the water to ream around and get down deeper. Okay, this sucker's been running about a half hour. I turned it down about after 15 minutes. So we've got some water action going over here to hopefully soften it enough up for this thing. Let's see. Oh, well, better than it was. Yep. You can't use KY jelly with these things. It's just going to have to take muscle. All right.
hungry, and I got myself undressed. Now I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. Well, I keep...
Okay, I'll be shutting the water off now and then attaching that hose to the root feeder thing. By the way, this video brought to you by Natural Light. And you see here, folks, that's a great thing about my videos. I'm just so exacting and meticulous. You know, it's why I've been awarded YouTuber of the Year every year. And not only do I tell you I'm going to shut the water off, but I show you me shutting the water off. That's how great I am. Although some would say I'm just a whore for the camera lens. And by the way, this is called Ross root feeder, not Scott's. The Ross root feeder. I think I've been using Scott's fertilizer tablets in it though. Anyway, here we go. Oh yeah, it's going down in there. Well, I forgot to turn the water back on. Well, I'm not going to video that. Oh yes, I am. Otherwise, I won't get YouTuber of the Year again. You've got to see this whole procedure for it to be a real video. Tell you what, I'm the best. I'm the best. And here we are. Turn it on. Oh yeah, we're putting water to it. The rest is boring. I'll just be doing like I did with those other pine trees. So that'll be the end of the video. The Ross root probe water and fertilizer feeder. So that'll be it.